Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are joining Africa Online TV. Well, it is a cloudy, kind of dreary, kind of chilly day here in Philadelphia, but it's the kind of day that makes you want to walk outside in the Christmas village, maybe get your Christmas trees today, maybe do your decorating outside because the weather's not too bad. We had snow. We've had snow for a couple days, and the snows that has come, even though it didn't stick, was not really a good day for decorating. However, it is a part of the holiday festivities. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about holidays festivities. As you can see, it is December, and December will be coming and going before you know it, and we'll be talking about 2026. But while we are here, we want to enjoy it. We want to wear our ugly Christmas sweaters. We want to buy our trees, drink hot chocolate, and visit Christmas villages and see lights. So let's talk about the holidays and what we're doing here in the holidays. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host for the editorial of the day, Professor Nearson. What's it looking like down in your neck of the woods?
It is warm, well, sunny, not warm. It is sunny, but not too cold, not too hot, not hot at all. So we are just making our best as we always do on days like this, because this year, as you said, it snowed way, way, way before we expected it to happen. Because for all my stay around here, I've hardly seen snow before the 10th day of December. But this time it came on the 5th of December. That was some news. And schools were closed because of that. Some schools were closed, especially in my neighborhood, that is in Prince George's County and Montgomery County, the counties that I frequent most. All the same, well, it is that period, as you said, festivities. Yes, it is the holiday season. And of course, we go along with it. But anyway, it is December the 12th, or rather, it is December, the 12th month of the year. It is the final month of the year, and there are 12 months in the year. So it has a length of 31 days. So December has 31 days. December's name derives from the Latin word decem, meaning 10, because it was originally the 10th month of the year. December is the first month of winter, and we actually had snow in the DC metro area this last Wednesday and Thursday, with some schools even closing, as I said. And today, Sunday, December 7th, is the 341st day of the year 2025. There are thus 24 days left until the end of the year. Can you imagine?
Wow.
24 days to go. It is the 49th day or the 49th Sunday of 2025 on the 50th week of 2025 when we use those United States Standard Week calculations. Whatever it is, let us not be scared. It is the 77th day of fall, and winter has been early this year, starting 14 days earlier than usual. Whether fall or winter, the human spirit is never really daunted. In fact, holiday festivities go ahead as always, and that human spirit always does not or does its best to stay healthy and strong. It is as it should be, because the holiday season is a time for celebration and usually brings stress and anxiety. Stress because of all the work you have to do, and then anxiety because you are looking forward to something happening in your life. Experts advise us, therefore, to maintain our mental health during the holidays by practicing gratitude and self-compassion, by setting boundaries, and by being flexible with our plans. Furthermore, we are urged and encouraged to stay hydrated, that is, drink as much water as you can, because you need to remain as healthy as you can be, remaining mindful of our eating habits, ensuring and engaging in physical activity so that we don't get ourselves overworked. Such practices and activities support both our mental and physical well-being. So both you and I and all of us need to stay as healthy as we can be. It is even recommended that we prioritize sleep and create a relaxing bedtime routine to wind down so that we are really relaxed as we celebrate. All these things are worth doing because of the engaging activities that go with the holiday period. In fact, from Thanksgiving, for those of us in North America, through Christmas, New Year, and Kwanzaa, we engage in such activities, in such holiday festivities as eating and drinking, dancing, and general celebrating. By incorporating these practices into our holiday routines, we enjoy the festivities more fully while supporting our overall health and happiness because we could we could fall sick if we restrain ourselves from certain things. So the question arises, could restraining ourselves from these celebrations, from these festivities, hurt our health? Could it hurt us physically or mentally or psychologically, whatever it is? Let us see our co-host let us turn rather to our co-host to lead us in this discussion. I think our chair is under the weather and will not be able to speak. So co-host, Ambassador Lisa, prophetess, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Nia-san. So, as you see, I have my Christmas background and I have on my Christmas not so ugly sweater, and I have my headpiece in my hair, which I forgot at the beginning of the show. I had the pleasure and the honor over last week to participate in our bus company here is called SEPTA. And SEPTA for 11 years has done a bus competition where each district picks a theme and then they get to decorate a bus. In years past, they took old buses, the decommissioned buses, and they could take the seats out, they could bring stuff in, they could nail stuff to the outside of the buses, and the bus competition has been absolutely amazing. It's a spectator sport. Everybody comes up to the depot, wherever they're hosting, and you sit and you watch. There are professional judges, there are guest celebrity judges who judges the bus from the inside and the outside, and then there is a winner. And then for 2 days afterwards, they participate in the Christmas Village, and we have what we call the People's Choice Awards, where the people get to come walk through the buses as part of the holiday celebration, and they get to vote on their best bus. Well, this year I actually had a chance to participate in the bus competition. A friend of mine asked me if I would be in, and the theme was the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And this headpiece is the headpiece that Cousin Catherine wore. If you remember the movie, The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Cousin Eddie was the one who came from down south, or the country one, where his wife was named Catherine, and she the one baked that turkey that split open at Christmas. Now, if you don't remember it or you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you got to go watch the movie or read it. So anyway, our bus won first place during the SEPTA competition, and today will be the final day downtown, and we will find out who the People's Choice Award was. And then tomorrow I will be on TV. I won't be Catherine tomorrow. I'll be playing I forgot which aunt I will be playing. Bertha, I think her name is Bethany. Bethany is the one who bought the Jello with the cat litter, and she wrapped up the cat. So it's been a wonderful weekend. It's been a wonderful week. The competition started on Wednesday, and we've had an absolute wonderful time talking about watching all the buses. The people were like, "Are the buses going anywhere?" It was like, "No, they're a static display. You get to walk in, have a seat if you like." All the buses, everyone went way out to do a wonderful job and make this year, this 11th year competition, a success. And when I'm finished with the show, I need to run downtown and get on my bus and be Cousin Catherine, so I can talk about my turkey that everybody cried about because I burnt the turkey and I cooked it too long and it bust open.
No, please,
Oh
please,
my
don't
God.
cry, don't
So
cry, don't cry.
everybody thought it
Cheer
was
up,
amazing.
cheer up.
Yes, the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was our theme. So there are a lot of things that we do in our cities that celebrate the holidays. Um, we had our tree lighting on Thursday at City Hall. We have a giant Ferris wheel and we have a giant Christmas Village marketplace that is in our Love Park. Everybody who comes to Philadelphia comes to Love Park to take their pictures under the love sign. And then we have it over on the property of our city hall. There are marketplaces, there are little shops, there's skating rinks, there's food, and there's hot chocolate and beverages and German sausage and things to eat. So that's part of our Christmas holiday celebration here in Philadelphia. I will also have an opportunity to be singing when I come back. I sing with the City of Philadelphia Employees Choir, and we will be doing a concert at Love Park, and we will also be doing it in our Municipal Services building after our Love Park concert. So I love this time of year. If I'm going to be here, these are the things that I'm going to be doing to celebrate the holidays. Now, I would rather be in Africa, but when I'm here, I'm going to celebrate. I have another ugly sweater that I have to wear for the concert because the concert we have to really, really have ugly sweaters. So I was shopping for my ugly sweater. So, Nia-san, what are some of the things that are going on down in your area in Maryland?
Well, I am not that kind of person that goes out to see what is going on,
Oh,
but I
you
know
don't?
driving around, I've seen lights all over the place. It started from Thanksgiving, or some
Yes.
people even put up their lights before Thanksgiving, and the lights are all over the place. And from street to street, the decoration is different depending on the individuals, depending on the people that are doing that. And there used to be one person along my street who used to decorate real good, and it became a touristic site. Unfortunately, he moved on and the life ended. And of course, people no longer visit the place because the lighting has stopped. All the same, we appreciated what he used to do. There was even a time a radio station came to cover him that evening, that Christmas Eve, but that was then. That is many years back. And things have changed.
Wow.
But the neighborhood still breathes that spirit of holiday. People come out, the stores are crowded. You find people, and somebody will tell you good, happy holiday. Somebody what never said anything to you. They will greet
Mm-hmm.
you for the sake of greeting you just because of that spirit, and
Yes.
it makes life really good because it reminds me back home in Africa. In my neighborhood, we did not live in cities. We lived when I was growing up. We lived in villages. Each person had a homestead, and the homestead, you would get up in the morning and ululate or send a sound to your neighbor, and your neighbor will respond. And then in the evening, the kids who were around in those days will go around together, they band together, they go around singing songs of joy, not because they knew what Christmas was all about, but because their parents told them that this is a season where we celebrate, where we celebrate each other, where we greet each other, where we are nice to each other, and where we look up to each other and make sure that the neighborhood is lively. So those are some of the things we did. But since I went into the city, things changed, life changed. We do dancing from neighborhood to neighborhood. We sing and dance as we go around and make sure that the children are participating as much as possible. Parents who used to be very strict will give their children some vacation time. Okay, you have from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. You must be home by 7 p.m. So that kept the neighborhood lively for that time, a period of time, from like the beginning of December till the end of December, going to New Year. People used to at least make sure that they let the children participate in neighborhood activities that kept the life going for everyone in that neighborhood.
So you said that one person on your block would decorate so extravagantly that people would come by to visit. So does no one on your block decorate?
People decorate, but not
Oh, it's
but
not
not
like that.
not as elaborately as you
Okay.
used to. Yes, people
Yes.
decorate. Yes,
Yes. Before I go further, I wanted to mention you said it snowed on, it snowed on Friday, correct?
on Wednesday.
Or Wednesday.
Yes,
I know my son went to preach uh Friday. He took the train down Friday and he said it was snowing in Virginia. and it was snowing so much that he said apparently they had closed the schools already. I'm like, it's dusting, but apparently you all, or maybe what, not, I won't say Maryland, but maybe Virginia, they don't have a lot of snow, so they don't really know what to do, and they closed the schools down while they tried to figure it out. Do you get a lot of snow there in Prince George's County?
There was snow, but it didn't stick. It was just enough to keep you uncomfortable, especially especially if you are driving, especially if you
Okay.
have to drive. Yes. Then on Friday, they called, they announced snow, and schools were actually closed in Prince George's County because they thought it was going to snow tons,
Heavily. Okay.
but it never snowed. It just the weather was just cold. Was just
Right.
cold. So
Now,
kids stayed
Tuesday
home.
we were supposed to have a major snowstorm here Tuesday,
Yeah.
but we woke up and all it was rain. It rained kind of heavy, but it just rained. There was no snow. But Saturday we had snow. Um, I was driving from South Philadelphia, and by the time I got up to Northeast, it almost like when I crossed into the Northeast, the sign said, "Welcome to the Northeast." And I crossed that sign, the snow was coming down so heavy. Again, nothing stuck. And I was thinking that nobody at the airport was going to be able to fly. But some people flew. I guess they were doing pattern work around the airport. They weren't really going up high because we had pretty low ceiling. So the holidays always brings us a multiple types of how weather conditions. Like I said, we don't usually get snow this early in the year, but here we are having snow. Thank God it didn't stick. I'm always so concerned about all the homeless people that are on the street with nowhere to go, no
Yeah.
shelters, and we only take them in when we have what we call cold blue. I think the temperature gets down below freezing, and then they'll go out and pick them up. But I'm like, why we don't have homes and places for them to go on a regular basis? But anyway, I digress. We're here to talk about the holidays.
Yes.
So do you not take your children out, your grandchildren out to see the lights and things like that?
Well, we've not done that yet this year, but we're looking forward to. Just
Oh, okay.
it has become so cold, so I just keep them home, and we're planning on one of these days. I think maybe this week to make sure that we go out to see some of the lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We have lots of neighborhoods here in Philly that do extravagant lights. There's one neighborhood we call now they call it the Miracle on 13th Street. And they have been decorating since I was a child, not a child, since I was a young adult going to high school. They have been decorating their block for, like I said, since high school days. And now it has become so big that people are bringing coming in. Now they have the holiday tour buses that take you around to see different lights. The holiday tour buses are now coming into South Philly to see the Miracle on 13th Street. And they do it up there. They're coordinated and they do extravagant lights, and people are coming from everywhere right here to South Philly to see the lights. Used to be our Italian neighborhood had all the lights that you really wanted to see, but now all the neighborhoods are really going out. My block, not so much. I haven't decorated in a couple of years, but my goal and my plan is to decorate next year because I now have grandchildren, and even though they don't celebrate Christmas, um, they celebrate Hanukkah, and I celebrated Kwanzaa for a while, at least when my sister was here. We always had Kwanzaa dinner at her house, and we always celebrated Imani, which is the last day, January 1st. So we always celebrated at her house. So I've kind of celebrated all the holidays. I have a Jewish mom, and since my sons actually were very little, we've gone to her house for Hanukkah and celebrated with the brisket and the latkes and the applesauce and the gold coin. So I've had an opportunity to celebrate all three holidays for very, very many years. And I can't say that there's one that I like more than the other. I like the celebration. I like the lights. I like the decorating. I love all of that. So some of the things that we do to celebrate the holidays. Last year, we happened to have all three holidays on top of each other, intertwined. That was Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa. This year, Hanukkah is coming early. It starts the 15th through the 22nd. And then, of course, we know Christmas, we start celebrating from Thanksgiving all the way up to New Year's, and some people even after New Year's. And then we have Kwanzaa, which starts on the 26th of December, right? The day after Christmas. There's also Boxing Day. I know that there's Boxing Day in Canada.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I think London celebrates Boxing Day as
Yeah,
well.
England celebrate.
England, okay, but they have a different, I think they have a different reason for Boxing Day. So, do you know what their celebration of Boxing Day is?
Not really. I mean, when we were growing up, they told us that it was the day we put our clothes back in the box because we pull out our beautiful dresses during Christmas. Then on the 26th, we have to put them back in the box. They said that was
Oh,
they said Boxing Day, put your things back in the box. I don't know if that was a true story, but when we were growing up, that's what they told us.
okay. So this is in Africa, in
Yes,
Cameroon.
in Cameroon, because
Now,
our part of Cameroon was colonized by the British. After the
okay.
after the Germans was the British. So we took those traditions and just went along with them without really finding out
Mm.
deep down why this or that.
I do know I looked it up last year. I can't remember, and I didn't think to look it up until just now. But as far as I know, in Canada, when they celebrate Boxing Day was the day that everybody's leases were up on their apartments.
Oh,
So that was when they had to move. And because so many people were moving at the same time, they would share the moving vans. So if I was moving in the morning, when the moving van came to pick me up and my things and move me to the next house, it would stay and pick up the people who were moving out of my place and it would take them to the next place. So that was Boxing Day. It was always the day that their leases ran out on their apartments. And then I also know here in America, we don't really celebrate Boxing Day, but Boxing Day has been tentatively known as the day that you got to go exchange the gifts that you did not want.
want.
So that was a day that you boxed up everything that you got for Christmas that you didn't like, didn't want. Aunt Sally sent you underwear instead of a toy. You boxed it up and you took it back to the store to get your refunds, and that started Boxing Day. And just recently, literally just recently, a few minutes ago, I, uh, our CEO mentioned to us a holiday that I have never heard of. And I'm going, do you know anything about that?
No, I heard it for the first time today.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
going to look it up while we're talking. So some of the other things we can talk about for the holidays are, of course, lighting, of course, the Christmas trees. I personally like the caroling. I used to, my former church, we would go around to the nursing homes that we ministered in, and we would go caroling. I really loved that part of the holidays by being, like you said, being able to bring back some cheer and some joy and happiness to people, especially in nursing homes who can't get out, who can't go do what they used to do. So to be able to come in and share with them some holiday seasoning, holiday songs, and greetings is a wonderful thing to do. Reverend Pam just told us about DT December, Detty. And
Yeah.
I looked it up really quickly before we started, but it is something that is celebrated in Africa. It refers to a festival period at the end of the year in Nigeria, typically, and I believe Ghana, where they celebrate from December through the New Year's. It's a time of celebration, social gathering, parties, kind of like the old Christmas. Old Christmas was celebrated in January, and I believe it's still celebrated in parts of Britain, what they call Old January, Old Christmas. And I think it starts around the 12th of January. It has everything to do with the calendars and how the calendars were changed and extra days were taken out. And I thought that was a very interesting thing. I wasn't prepared to talk about it today, but I don't know why I just came up, but I'm mentioning it. But there used to be Old Christmas. I remember I had to preach last year and I talked about Old Christmas. And it was something I had never even heard of until I began to prepare my message on what Christmas was all about. So it's okay if you celebrate Christmas and you still think of it as the birth of Jesus. I say, look, everybody was born sometime, somewhere, so why not celebrate? Does it really matter that he was not born in January, or excuse me, does it really matter that he was not born in December? Some say he was born in March because they counted 9 months from the time that the Catholic Church celebrates the Immaculate Conception. 9 months up brings you to a different time. But I just say, Jesus is the reason for every season. He is the reason for every day, and we should celebrate him every day. Just like you celebrate yourself every day. I celebrate me every day. I do something for Lisa every single day. I don't care if it's something as small as buying myself something that I want or treating myself to something that I may want. I do something every day that brings pleasure and joy to me because we spend a lot of time celebrating and doing for others. So I don't let a day go by that I'm not doing something that celebrates me. How about you, Nissan?
I don't celebrate much. I just know that the seasons come and go, and we go along with them. Especially when I was in Africa, when the trees started having flowers, when they started flowering, we knew there was a change of season. When the leaves started falling off from trees, we knew it was a change of season, and we always went along with those because that conditions our family. We know when the flowers are coming up, we know that it's beginning of planting season. When the trees are shedding their leaves, we know it is harvest season, and we always went along with that. And we never particularly celebrated anything as such, except perhaps in families. Different families may get together and have one or two festivities, but that was not a generalized thing. And because in those days we lived in homesteads, as I said before, we didn't live in communities. But when we started living in communities, we get together and we organize dances just to ensure that somebody has something to do to keep themselves busy that evening or that week, so that the whole group, the whole community knows that we're living together in this community.
So you only did these things around the holidays, but wasn't it important to keep yourself busy and entertained throughout the whole year?
Well, it depends on each community. Each community had its own way of celebrating or not celebrating, of getting together or not getting together. We did things in given communities, and it depended also on the village in which you live. If you live in a village where people are very busy farming, they spend more of their time in their farms than celebrating anything.
Okay.
And in my community, we did not have farming festivals like Yam Festival in Nigeria. We heard about that when we went to school. But back in our village, we did not celebrate whatever crop you harvested. Was just the fact that, yes, you went to work, you did some work, and you had to harvest something. We did not celebrate all that. But each family would get together, have a gorgeous meal, just in case somebody is sick. They make sure they look after that person, and then they get together and make sure that whatever they have as food is eaten together as a community or as a group, as a family. So we never really have had those particular celebrations that were named after anything. No.
Okay.
We just got together if the need arose.
Find it.
Yeah, if there is a birth, we get together, we celebrate that birth. If there's a death, we get together, we celebrate that death. But we never really got together because we wanted to have a festival for that particular given day or given occasion. We really do not do that much as far as I remember growing up. But when I went to the city, it was much different because the cities people get together more often than in the villages.
So you said earlier that the children would get together and they would sing, even though they didn't really understand what Christmas was about. How was Christmas celebrated? If they didn't understand that this was Christmas, what were they celebrating?
Well, they celebrated the end of that particular week or the end of that particular month. But when we became aware that there is something called Christmas, the children would get together and sing songs of happiness. They didn't have any Christmas carols as such, but they had songs that they sang. But the church gradually started teaching us Christmas carols and so on. And children will learn how to sing those songs and move from compound to compound to sing the songs, dance to it, and make sure that they celebrated in their own way what they learned about Christmas. Christmas was actually, we're told, was the birth of somebody called Jesus Christ. Yes, we heard that. But who is this person? Where did he come from? Where is his village? How can we meet him? But so they brought the churches, they built the churches, and they told us, well, if you have to celebrate Christmas, come to the church. And when we went to church, it would be from evening, we can go like 9 p.m. till maybe 2 a.m. Then we'll come back home singing on our way back home. And then the next day, we'll just gather as a family. But we had Christmas Day will come on the market day in our village, because our village had 7 markets, 7 days. So each day was a market day and each day was a Christmas day. So Christmas did not come to your village until it was your market day.
Oh,
because you get dressed in your best attire and you come to that market day. You come to that market on that market day and you meet people and you chat with people. That was how Christmas was celebrated.
Oh, no shopping though. You didn't get you wasn't shopping?
In those days, parents will do the shopping and only come home and tell you, okay, I got this for you for Christmas. We children did not know what Christmas was all about. We just knew that it was somebody's birthday and we wear new clothes, we wear new shoes just because our parents got them for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Nigeria is just now coming into, I guess for lack of a better term, the Western side of Christmas, or the Western understanding of Christmas. Few people have Christmas trees there. I was there in 2019. So it was 2017, I believe it was, when I was there. And my nephews wanted a Christmas tree. So I went out and I bought them Christmas trees. I did take lights with me. They did have a little teeny tree up in the sitting room. There was a little 2-3 foot tree that they used to have. But my nephew wanted a real tree, a real stand-up tall tree. I've never seen real trees in Africa, but I went out and I bought him a tree. I bought him lights for the windows, and I bought those from America with me and forgot that our voltage was different. So the moment we put it in the window and was ready to light it up, they all exploded. And I was like, what the heck happened? Okay, I bought a converter for the plug, but I didn't bring the step down unit for the lights.
Yes.
But the lights, we were able to get step down units for the lights for the trees and the decorating. And I came with the stockings and all the candy. And I had the stockings hung in the window. They were hidden kind of. And went shopping. And when the boys came down, I was surprised because they were coming in my room every single morning early to see what we were going to do today. And Christmas morning, nobody was up early. I was like, well, what is going on here? Not realizing they didn't understand that, here in America, Christmas morning is when the kids are up early, rummaging under the tree for their gifts. Nobody got up early. So we went to church. We had service. I went to they have something now called carol services. You were saying that you used to go to the village singing Christmas carols and things like that. They now have carol service. I had the privilege of going to one where my nephew had to speak. He had to speak a particular portion of scripture that I worked with him on so that he would be able to speak clearly and not be reading it. And I thought that was interesting. So carols are something that is very big in Africa, on the continent. Going to carol services, you're singing the Christmas carols, but there's also the scripture readings that go along with it, the explanation of that particular passage, why it was read. So that I enjoyed. I enjoyed that part of the carol services. Here let me just say, in Uganda and here in the diaspora, in our Uganda fellowship, they have the Christmas cantata, which is basically the same thing. It's the coming together to sing the Christmas carol. Somebody brings the word, and every year there's this big to-do about the Christmas cantata. So Christmas carols are a very big part of everyone's celebration, no matter whether you're celebrating Christmas traditionally with the Christmas tree and the presents and Santa and Elf on the Shelf, or whether you're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Carols are important in all of our celebrations. My choir, we do a mix of traditional Christmas songs that we add our spin to, and we do some that are more spiritual. Then we do some fun stuff. We give the people in our concert a mix. Nobody's coming saying, "Oh wow, that choir they only sang Christian songs." No, they get a mixture of different types of songs in our concerts. And this year we've had more engagements than we only used to sing at Christmas time. Now we were asked to do a month of concerts during the summer for an art exhibit. Excuse me, I still have this cough. That was for an art exhibit that was done in our city hall. And then we came back and performed again once it was moved from City Hall courtyard and moved it into our municipal service building where it will be on display for the next 5 years so that people who come in to pay their water bill and their taxes and things like that, they will be able to enjoy the art exhibit as well. So we've talked about caroling and the different things that are going on in different parts of the world. The Christmas celebration is celebrated in many different ways. Some know the commercial aspect of it, some do not. I went today, I was watching some videos. My granddaughter in Uganda graduated from kindergarten this week, and I sent her money to go shopping for her, a special gift just for her graduating. And my daughter-in-law sent me videos of them shopping, and the store seemed to have way more toys than they used to have when I was there. Maybe it's because it's the holiday time and they think people would be doing more shopping than normal. But my daughter-in-law told me they went to 3 different stores. I didn't even know Africa had a Chinatown, but they were going to Chinatown to visit the stores to see. I didn't see Christmas decorations in the store, and I didn't see a whole bunch of, Christmas. Excuse me?
My grandson came calling, so I'm going to attend.
Oh, okay. 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 So I'm looking at my chat box and I see here, I'm going to go back to Dirty Christmas is what it's how it's pronounced. It's spelled Detty, but it's pronounced like dirty. And it is a vibrant, popular cultural phenomenon in West Africa, especially in Nigeria and Ghana. Now I was in Nigeria for the end of the year, and I don't remember anyone ever speaking about Dirty Christmas or Dirty December, but it's an end of the year festival with massive parties, music, concerts, cultural events, attracting the diaspora from the mix of celebrations, homecomings, and unrestrained enjoyment. Okay, so everybody is going home. Everybody is going home for Dirty December. I also know that's not really a good time for those of us in the diaspora to go. It's always been suggested that if you're going to go to Africa, go at least a week or two ahead of time before the holidays, because many people know that everyone is coming home for the holidays. So there are lots of criminal activities that are going on during the holidays in Africa as well. So be careful at the airports if you're traveling. Be very mindful of who's coming to pick you up. Make sure that you know that particular person who's coming to pick you up. I always make sure that my brother sends me a picture of who is supposed to pick me up, and he also has my picture as well, because in Nigeria, you're not allowed in the airport. You know how here in America, we can go into the airport, we can go inside, we can go be at the luggage claim, we can go upstairs to receive our guests, but not in Africa. Your guests must wait for you outside. So if you don't know who you're looking for, people that work inside the airport can have a sign with your name on it because they see it outside, and you'll think that that is the person that you're supposed to be going to be with. And then that's how people are ending up being killed and or kidnapped. So make sure that you know the person who is supposed to be picking you up, and don't let them say, oh, no, he's not here. No, you need to know that confirmation before you get to the country. But we're not here to talk about that. We're still talking about the celebration. Well, that is the celebration of the holidays. Because if you're going to go all the way home to Africa for the holidays, you don't want your holiday ruined because you've been robbed or mugged or kidnapped or worse. So there are just a lot of things that we need to be watching for when we are traveling during the holidays.
Yes, and I'm sorry for that moving away. My grandson came wanting me to attend to him, so I had to go with him. But generally, Christmas is what it is. So it's a period to celebrate. Yes, in Cameroon, in general, when I moved to the city, we celebrate. We have street dancers or street performers who go from quarter to quarter, from neighborhood to neighborhood, performing different dances and in different cultural attires and so on. So it's something that happens in parts of the country, not everywhere in the country, but
Okay.
in some villages, yes, villagers get together and do what they want to do to say that they are celebrating what they've learned is Christmas. Christmas is not generally seen as a national festival. It is just a Christian, it's mostly a Christian festival. So many more people celebrate it because they are Christians than because they are citizens. They just join the show and say, okay, they say it's Christmas, so let us do it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm also seeing here that in Cameroon, Christmas is celebrated from December 5th to the January 1st. So you only have a week of celebration. And some parts have street performers who go door to door. So as opposed to going door to door and singing carols, they're going door to door and they are dancing for tips as they perform.
Yeah,
And
different churches organize carol performances, carol singing and so on, but not national. It's not a nationally recognized.
oh, okay.
The different churches that organize those things.
Again, audience, we still have to remember that most of our countries in Africa are between 60, 65, maybe 70 years old. Here in America, we're getting ready to celebrate our 250th year of independence. So we've had a long time to perfect some of the things that we are doing. They have yet to catch up. So we're not going to think about them as backwards or why they don't know. It took us some time and it's going to take them some time as well. But now, because of the internet and we have this interchanging going on, we are sharing ideals, we're traveling more, and we're bringing our culture to the continent, and we're taking home some culture from the continent as well. As I said earlier, the Christmas cantata comes from the continent, and they're still going on here in the diaspora as well. I know that we have my Uganda fellowship. We have a choir that is coming in, and our fellowship will be helping to sponsor this choir. I think they're coming in from Boston. So they're probably going to be coming in with singers and dancers who will be coming in for the Christmas cantata. It is 4:45, and we're going to have a short show today, but that's not before we do our anthem. And what about the meals? Let's talk about the meals. You know, we talked last week was our health show, and we were talking in preparation for the holidays. We were talking about diabetes and being able to watch what you eat and curve yourself and, you know, not stuff yourself just because it's the quote unquote holidays. It is still just another day. So you should be mindful of how you eat and not eat too much. But when I was a kid, dinner always consisted of, at least in my house, dinner consisted of at least 3 or 4 different meats. Oh my God, tons and tons of sides, desserts, beverages, and there was so much food that you could come 2, 3 days later and still find lots of food and leftovers to enjoy. So I have not been doing those kind of meals lately. Matter of fact, um, I was thinking of just getting me a turkey breast this year because I don't eat the turkey legs. I don't really like dark meat. And I was thinking I was just gonna give me a turkey breast and maybe some turkey wings. But who knows? Because I like to have after Christmas, I need me a turkey stuffing and cranberry sandwich. I have been eating that since I was a child. After Christmas, after Thanksgiving, after New Year's, there always had to be a turkey stuffing and cranberry sandwich. So I was doing that long before Wawa came out with their turkey gobbler. So how was meals handled at your house, near Song, over there in your neck of the woods?
Meals were, well, again, done by per compound. Each compound had something. A mother would cook a special meal that day for the family. If it was if it was like in my case, my father had two wives. The wives cook the food and they bring it to the big house and
Okay.
they share it among the children and everybody has a share. And if visitors come, they never lack anything because they always made sure that there was more food than was needed for that day. So if visitors came, they had food to eat. If they came, they had something to drink. It could be just water or palm wine because we always ensure that, well, our parents ensured that we
Mm-hmm.
had something more than just the usual water to drink. So they will get palm wine, which of course they will tell children, you just have a glass and that's enough for you. You don't have to drink more than this. And that's
Okay.
very good education for all of us as we were growing up, because when we grew up, we realized that our parents were showing us the right thing to do. Because when we drank more than a glass, we discovered that we were no longer feeling ourselves. So we knew that our parents had taught us good things, good ways of living our lives. But as I said, the food was always well cooked, more than usual. And as you said, we had meat, different meat. Well, not different meat. It could be bush meat, it could be cow meat, it could be goat meat, but they gave you a bigger chunk than before on Christmas Day.
A bigger chunk than
You had a
before.
special treat. Yes. Your chunk of meat would be bigger than it was the day before or the year before or
Okay.
the year. So children knew that Christmas was a time when they had a little more than their usual share.
Okay.
Yes. And in my village, one of the most common meals that we used to have was rice and soup and meat. So it was always something that every family or most families tried to get some rice, cook it, and share it among the children or among whoever comes to the family. So it was something that was always made sure to be available. And when I went to the city, it was even more because the families in the city, they either they get together and do it, or each family has a special Christmas meal cooked for those in that family. It was something very, very special. And because it was called Christmas, we all enjoyed it. And then after that, in the city, we would go out and dance at street corners. I did not participate in dancing. I was a shy boy, so I never really, I never really went around dancing. But I followed the group, I followed the crowd, and saw how they were doing it. Yes.
You just did participate. So that was when you were a child and growing up in Cameroon. What are you doing now in America here?
Well, from the village, I went to the city, and from the city, I became a man. I had a family, so I had to make sure that my family had the best at Christmas. My children have the best food they can eat. They have their new clothes. They have everything new, really.
Okay.
It was something always new.
Wonderful. I have not had children to shop for in a very long time. But this year, now that my son is married and I have 3 additional grandsons, I have been shopping. I've not been going overboard, but I have been, I've been looking at what their gifts and their talents are. Even though I don't give into too much of the commercialism, I still like to buy gifts that are going to be beneficial. So I'm going to be leaving for Atlanta on Wednesday, and I will see my godchildren down in Atlanta. So I was trying to figure out how was I going to buy these gifts and take them with me. And then I thought, how about just shipping them down there? So I will just be taking wrapping paper with me, and I will be wrapping their gifts and probably having some sort of combination of Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa while we're there, so I could see them open their gifts while I am there before I skirt off to my conference this weekend. But my new grandchildren here, I believe we will be having Hanukkah as well. So I've been shopping and getting their gifts I went to the store and picked them up. While we're trying to celebrate our festivals and our holidays and be grateful that we're alive for another season and, just do the things that make us happy, we've got to deal with these porch pirates now who are blatantly stealing your packages, and they know you've got a ring camera. They know you are recording them, and they just don't care. They're just taking your packages and going. And so I decided this year that I was going to, what little things I did have to buy online, I had sent to the store. And I went to pick them up from the store because I think it is really disgraceful when you spend your money, you buy things, you have them delivered to your house. And most of the time you deliver to your house because one, you can't go out to the store or you don't feel like going out to the store. So you have things delivered to you, but by the time you get to the door, by the time I get a notice on my phone that says there is a package been delivered, by the time I get downstairs to the door, the package is
It's gone.
gone.
Yeah. When I
And
first, not to interrupt you, when I first saw that on television, I asked myself, where are people's consciences? What has happened to us as human beings? Why
yes,
do we have to go pick somebody's property which is not yours? Why do we have to go take a parcel which is not yours? Why do we do this? I asked
right.
myself, where is our consciousness?
And then you don't know what you're picking up. My neighbors, if my neighbors have packages and I see the delivery guy delivering them and they're not home, I will go get them and bring them in the house, and then I'll leave a note in their mailbox that says, "Hey, your packages are in my house." So my end of the street, we do that. We look out for each other as much as possible. But you're right, Nia Sung. People are taking your packages and they're getting dog food or dog toys, and they don't know what they're getting. They're just snatching up packages just for the sake of it. And it becomes disheartening, when you're trying to buy for your friends and your family and you're, looking to have your packages and to have them taken away. So now I just have my things shipped to the store or to my girlfriend's house all the way in Trenton, New Jersey, because she has a porch. So everybody, actually, her husband said this is not the post office because all her sisters, her brothers, everybody is having their gifts shipped to her house because we know that once they go up on the porch, nobody's coming up there. You've got to really work. Even though we've seen, the reels and the news of people going up on people's porches and taking their gifts and things, but it's not happening in her neighborhood where she's living. So we've been sending things to, matter of fact, my son's birthday gift is at her house now, and I just told him I got to find a way to get over there before Tuesday, before I leave to go get his birthday gift. But it is 4:45. Uh, we've had a wonderful conversation talking about the festive time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. Every day is the most wonderful time of the year, but we're going to be closing our show out in a few minutes, but we are going to play our anthem before we go. It is a part of us. It is a part of Africa Online and who we are. And then we're going to tell you what our next week's topic is. And then we're going to say so long so that we can continue to celebrate in our festivities. I just say that no matter what happens, good, bad, or ugly, let's not allow a few porch pirates and thieves to ruin our holiday. Let's not allow circumstances and situations to ruin our holiday. This is still the best season, the best time of our life, and it is the best time of our seasons. So at this time, we're going to hear our anthem. Give me 1 second to get over here and share. Excuse
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
me.
when you do that, yes, let me just add that, yes, we have to be conscious of the season. It is a season of joy. It is a season of celebration. So please don't deprive someone of their precious gift because you want to act smart. It's not being smart. You are just being dangerous to the society.
Yes. And we need not be dangerous to society.
We don't need to.
We don't need to. I understand that people are losing their jobs, companies are downsizing. My credit union where I go, they've taken away all the tellers except for two and put these machines in. And I'm like, if I wanted to go to the ATM, I would have stayed downstairs and did that. No, I want to speak to a person. So I get in line to wait for a person. They're like, can we help you? No, you cannot. I don't use self-checkout in the stores.
Yeah.
And I've been raging against that forever. since they started self-checkout because you're taking people's jobs away.
That's
And in this time of season, when people are losing their jobs and they're losing their homes, and especially our brothers and our men who are the heads of their home, and they're feeling inadequate because they cannot do what they used to do because they've been downsized out of a job or their job has gone under. Let's be mindful of our brothers and sisters. Let's pray for them. Take a couple extra dollars in your pocket when you go out and help some homeless person. Yes, this is the most wonderful time of the year, and it should be the most wonderful time of the year for them as well.
that's right. Yes, is the anthem coming?
Yes, it
No,
is.
I don't see it. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, Africa. Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people, with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africa Online Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does. To identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. There will be education for everyone if we believe. Prosperity for Africans if we believe. Medical facilitation for Africans if we believe. Stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization. Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's sing Africa. Jump on the AfricaOnline miracle jet, don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed, together we will win. Stand up, Africans, let's sing Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies, Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. Nia-san, what are we talking about next week?
Did we really agree? I think we're thinking about celebrating life without mentioning anything about going beyond, but celebrating life, celebrating
life.
Yeah, celebrating those who have left us. And are we empowering the people who are left behind, or impoverishing them through the expenditures that we do at that time when we're celebrating those lives? Do we celebrate life by empowering those who are left behind, or impoverishing them? So that
sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yes. So we'll talk about that. And I know you have other announcements.
So the other announcement is that our sister organization, Africa's Brain Bank, will be celebrating its 7th annual summit and gala. And this year, from September 1st through September 8th, we will be in the lovely country of Ghana. It is not too early to start making your plans to join us in Accra for the 7th annual summit and gala. Get your gowns ready. As a matter of fact, why don't you just wait till you get there and get you something beautiful made? But website is now up and open, africasbrainbank.org. You can go and begin to buy your tickets for that week's celebration. We are looking to get partnership with an airline where we can get a decent rate and everyone can fly together. And with Queen, Her Royal Highness, Princess Reverend Pam, there's no telling what the celebration is going to look like getting off the plane. So you might want to be there to take part in some of that. Look forward to further information coming in the days and the weeks and the months ahead. Nia-san, back to you.
Back to me. I will get back to you immediately with asking you for your last word as we wrap up this discussion this Sunday.
Oh, okay. So, as I was saying, as we are celebrating the holidays, your family and your friends, you're traveling, be careful, be conscious, keep your head on the swivel. Don't be letting people get too close. Do not, like when I went to Rome, the first thing they told us when we went to Rome was don't pull money out your pocket to give to anyone, not even a child, no matter how desperate they look. So do not be opening your wallet and your pocketbook in the public. Be very careful, but also be mindful of those who are less fortunate than us. While we are happy that we have our homes and we have meals and food and things like that, there are so many who do not. And this is a desperate time. We don't want you to be part of the tragedies this holiday. Be careful, be mindful, be full of joy, but be generous as well. Nia-san, your last word.
I'll take over from there. Be generous. Very, very important. Not everybody is fortunate to be where you are. So please be generous to the next person you meet and just say sorry or happy. And just that smile will make a difference in the life of that other person. Please share the smiles. Let the smile be as good as possible, as well-meaning as possible. And please, whatever we do, let us do it in good faith. Thank you very much. And your prophetess, I know you are traveling. Enjoy, and may God provide you with the wherewithal. And that being said, dear listeners, we are happy to be here today. Let us look forward to being together again